816-578-1007. You want to join us on the phone or 800-348-1007. 35192. Send me a text. And AlanCoxShow.com for everything else. You can watch the show there. You can stream live anywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure that you do not miss this week's Christie's Instagram Hotties.
Oh, yeah.
I went knuckle deep on this in the break, and I feel instantly better, Bill.
That's good. That's what it's there for.
So thank you for that. Took myself a shot of Cleveland whiskey just to calm myself down.
Mary, you want to try that out? Not the whiskey, the Instagram Hotties.
The boobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the lovely Abella Danger is in there, too. Yummy. Yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of stuff for you, too. Jesus Christ, these girls. Oh, these girls. Danielle Yayala.
Yeah,
she could barely keep it together.
She's it's special. She's a talented young lady.
She is a special kind of gal.
Mm-hmm. Huge boobs.
I often wonder what... I
don't understand that.
What?
How you bring a gal like that home. One of these girls has got a real weird torso. Jessie Cakes 33.
Yeah. That's the cover photo that got a lot of clicks for us.
Yes, but in her most recent video there, obviously she has the giant bolt-ons, but then underneath her torso...
She's like a fitness model, so she's got those big fake boobs.
But it looks weird, too, like she's got
body,
dude abs.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, she does.
Good for her. You know, again, I'm constantly... everybody travels in different circles on social media, and that's a great thing. There's a little something for everybody. But it is always fascinating to me, the people I've never heard of who have 9 million followers.
Oh, ew.
And me not hearing of them is neither here nor there. It's just, you know, I try to keep my ear to the ground, Bill.
Right.
You know? If you put your ear to one of her breasts, you can hear the ocean.
It's just silicone.
Oh. Not saline. They gone back old school.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess saline is the new way of doing it.
It might not be. Some of these gals might be wanting to go old school. I don't know.
I mean, Christie's Instagram Hotties is all well and good. I like the furry convention. I watched that last night with my girlfriend and then went down that rabbit hole of watching other weird places that he went to. And man, I like weird people.
I live in immigrant housing with a bunch of other undocumented people because I don't have an ID or a social security card or any credit because I'm trying to live off the grid because that's how committed I am to not being human.
How old's your baby?
She's 5 months old. Shout out to my parents for adopting her and my gay boyfriend for staying in Ohio because he's gay.
Hey, you know what? Her gay boyfriend should get a shout out for staying in Ohio.
I hope she refers to him as that all the time.
Yes.
This is my gay boyfriend, Tony.
He lives in Ohio. Yeah. I live here. I came all the way from... She probably came from Ohio to Rosemont, Illinois, out there by O'Hare.
She could be listening right now. We don't even know.
For the furry con.
No, she's off the grid, Bill. They don't have... Well, they might. Do we have any bureau chiefs in immigrant housing? Or undocumented housing?
Any white girls dressed as cats? Yeah, undocumented housing. I have a feeling something or someone associated with that is documented somewhere. I bet that building has an address. They're really committed to it. The building has no address. They don't get any mail. She might be off the grid, but she's on some grid.
She's on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on a drug grid somewhere. Alan, it is not up to the bands when it comes to the Rock Hall induction and the members. It's up to the hall.
Yeah, we know.
No, I didn't know that. When the guy asked, you know, who decides if, like, your old lead singer comes with you? Like, Sammy Hagar got in with Van Halen, I think.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Gene Simmons wanted more former bandmates from Kiss, and the hall said no. I'll take you at your word. That doesn't... Gene Simmons... they famously said they didn't care about the Rock Hall. It's certainly, with the acrimony that he's had with past members of that band, I would be surprised if he wanted to have him in. But again, maybe he was feeling conciliatory when they got in. But a lot of times they'll just say, nope, the original members are who we want to induct. We don't need a guy who was singing for you for 6 months 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? We want... So Judas Priest, a couple of original members I think have died, but we want that classic lineup. Want Rob Halford, K.K. Downing, Glenn Tipton, Ian Hill...
But they don't even want them because they're not getting in.
Right.
They're still not getting in. That's the one that hurts the most.
Judas Priest?
Judas Priest should be in. I mean, so should Maiden. There's a lot. There's a lot when you get down to it. MC5.
Alan, I'm a Dave Matthews Band fan, and I'm 29. I did not know that I was going to die at 40. Now I'm in a bad mood. Yeah, that
10
dude.
years.
That dude said that all of Dave Matthews fans were going to die in 10 years, and that was the reasoning for not getting it in there. Listen, the Frito-Lay company, they make a lot of amazing snacks. You might be enjoying one right now. These people are responsible for more lost feet than frostbite. That being said, they have a lot of delicious, delicious snacks. Cheetos, chief among them. I love the jalapeno Cheetos. I cannot pass those up.
Jalapeno.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a Flamin' Hots fan myself.
Those are too hot for me.
Really?
Jalapeno cheddar. Flamin' Hot, it's like carpet bombs my mouth.
Well,
I don't need that.
I do not like spicy food at all.
I love spicy food.
See, but for whatever reason, the flavor of Flamin' Hots I enjoy so much that the heat doesn't bother me. But it's one of the only things where it comes like that.
I don't even like most cheese-flavored things. But those jalapeno cheddar Cheetos, my Achilles heel. And we all, if you enjoy Cheetos, then you enjoy the Cheeto dust. You lick your fingers, yeah?
Mm-hmm. You didn't like that? That's not what it sounds like when you lick your fingers?
That just sounded like me trying to get back to sleep last night. I recorded it for posterity, just so everything. Okay, listen. Cheetos says that they have officially named that dust. And I'm not, blown away. They could have called it something else. They call it Cheetle. C-H-E-E-T-L-E.
I was like Don?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because, everybody makes fun of Comrade Trump for having the hue of a Cheeto. Mm-hmm. His new nickname should be Don Cheetle.
Ah, I get it.
Do you see what I did? See what I did?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Cheeto says, people have always called it Cheeto fingers or Cheeto dust. They're calling it Cheetle.
My friend who does a lot of mushrooms, when he gets down to the bottom of his bag,
he sees the face of God?
No, he says, he'll lick his finger and eat the Cheeto dust of the mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
That's what he'll do. So that's what makes me laugh.
Bro, I was eating a whole bag of Cheetos. And
microdosing.
Yeah, well, that's what he says. Once he's out of all of the actual mushrooms, that's what he eats, the quote-unquote Cheeto dust mushrooms.
But he eats multiple mushrooms at once?
I have no idea. He does mushrooms, recreationally once a week.
Once a week?
He's on a lot of psychedelics, yeah. Same with acid. This dude's just constantly tripping.
Oh, my God.
What's he do for a living?
He's a stand-up comedian.
Oh, well.
Well, I guess you got
to
might help.
He's a temp at a law firm during the day.
Well, that's what I mean. What's his square gig? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a temp at a law
firm.
firm.
They don't drug test at this law firm?
No.
No, he's a paralegal.
He comes from a temp agency. They don't care. Oh. They're like, file the paperwork, get us coffee.
Yeah. Go grab my briefs and go get me some decaf.
See?
Yeah. I need those files on Plessy v. Ferguson. Stat.
Colors can be vibrant for that.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Johnny B. Hello, Johnny. Hello.
Hey, congratulations to Whitney Houston. Kudos.
Hey.
To all the people that nominated her to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and kudos to all of those who voted her in. Whitney delivered great performances of music that was written by some of the most legendary music writers in the business.
Boy, all the black guys are really happy that Whitney got in.
Pardon me?
I said all you black dudes are really happy that Whitney got in.
Well, I think a lot of white people are too. I think the haters are the only ones that's not happy.
You think she should be think she should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, first of all, I think you should learn the meaning of rock and roll. That's where you are twisted at. You don't even know the meaning of. Give me the meaning of rock and roll. Is it like a bunch of white boys with long hair with a guitar solo in the middle of all their songs? Is that what your definition of rock and roll is?
Well, that's Poundcake's definition. He said it's got a guitar solo in it.
Let me say this. Before Def Leppard, before Journey, before any of the legendary rock bands that you know of, there was Little Richard. That was rock and roll. And guess what he
Johnny,
was?
What do you think? I'm 5 years old. I know the history of rock and roll. I'm saying that there is a direct line between those guys and those other bands. There's no connective tissue between Whitney Houston and rock and roll.
Whitney was crossover. She appealed to the
With
masses.
whom? With whom?
Yes, black people, mister.
With whom?
Funny.
Who in the rock and roll community did she connect with?
It's rock and roll is music.
Johnny,
Whitney
you give me
delivered
one,
good music.
Johnny, you give me one rock and roller that she ever collaborated with.
Phil Spector wrote a song for Whitney. Did you know
He
that?
wrote a song for her. He wrote a million songs for a million people. Johnny, he wrote a million songs for a million people. This guy's really going to the mat for Whitney Houston, boy.
Thing, man. You missing the point, brother.
I like
You
Johnny.
missing the
I
point.
like how Johnny thinks he's peeling back the curtain on Little Richard for me. Johnny, Phil
look this guy
Spector wrote
up.
a lot of songs for a lot of people. That's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the connection between rock and roll and Whitney Houston. He wrote a lot of songs for rock bands. He wrote a lot of songs for mute artists.
But he didn't write her. But Johnny, he didn't write her. Take a breath. He didn't write her a single rock song.
Okay, I'm gonna take a breath before I say this. You don't know what the heck you're talking
Then
about.
prove
my
me
brother.
wrong. Tell me, show me how I'm wrong. Prove me
I
wrong.
just told you were wrong, but you won't accept it.
Because Phil
You
Spector
told
wrote
me to
music
make the
for her?
connection between-
Johnny,
Wait a minute, listen.
Johnny, you listen to me.
asked
You talk now, I'll talk. Johnny, you give
Okay,
me
yeah,
one
I'm listening.
rock and roll song that Phil Spector wrote for Whitney Houston. I'll wait.
I didn't say it was a rock and roll song.
Well, then
First
what's
of
the
all,
tissue
you need to
other than
define
Phil
your-
Spector,
first
a
of
guy
all-
who wrote...
first of all, you
Phil Spector was...
You asked me a question, but expect the answer. But when I asked you, what is your meaning of rock and roll, you rose right past it.
I just
Which
gave it to
means-
you, Johnny.
Which tells me that you don't even know what rock and roll is.
Well, then inform me.
I'm
Johnny,
almost
inform
sure-
me.
I'm going to inform you what it's not.
You just whipped out Little Richard at me like that's the be-all, end-all. Thanks for the update.
I made that point to tell you that you made the statement that only all the black people are only happy, and that's just so untrue.
No, I didn't say only black people. I said all the guys that have called me today happy about Whitney Houston are black dudes.
You said you
It's true. I'm just telling you.
You want to switch it up. You want to switch the words up and make a different meaning.
No, I'm saying.
For real, my brother.
Johnny, are you a black guy?
Educate yourself. You a radio DJ and you don't even know nothing about music.
Johnny, are you a black guy?
DJ's a talk show host.
Johnny, are you a black
You
guy?
are comical. You comical,
Johnny.
man. You should learn your craft.
Oh my God, this is so annoying. I can't handle it.
Johnny.
That has to do with music, man. Again, you still haven't gave me your definition of rock and roll, but yet you want to say she's not rock and roll. But I'm just waiting.
Rock and roll is music that white people stole from black people. Is that what you want to hear?
See, you guys. You
Johnny,
tickle me when you
Johnny,
make
here's
things
what I'm
up.
saying. Johnny,
Yes.
the burden of proof is on you, not me. The burden of proof is on people. The burden of proof is on people who think she should be in.
But you wouldn't accept it. If I prove my point, you asked me to make a connection between Whitney and rock and roll.
And you gave me
I
Phil
simply pointed out-
Spector, Johnny. That's nothing. Well, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back for Phil Spector. Come on, man.
I also gave you the example of crossover music, which appeals to the masses.
Such as?
Whitney Houston songs.
Oh, Johnny, you don't even know what crossover means. Stop with the buzzwords. Okay, thank you. There's Johnny, who, I don't know what the guy's saying. Phil Spector wrote her some songs. So what?
Alan, have you ever heard of Bop Bop Baloo Bop Bop Bamboo? You're not schooled in that? How could you miss
Listen,
that?
Tutti Frutti to this day is my favorite ice cream and song. Thank you very much. My,
All right, well, I'm just going to lay off the Whitney Houston for a day. I didn't know that would happen.
it's not your fault. It's my fault. I keep going down that rabbit hole. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
I regret sending you that article. I should have just waited till we were on the show because I know you would have seen it
It's
anyways.
not your fault. It's my fault. But I'm not going to have Johnny sitting there telling me, oh, Phil Spector nailed it. What? Pardon me?
Is he related to Regina Spektor at all?
Probably not. I think one's with a C, one's with a K. There's a lot of ha 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 when she sings, and not so much. I'll tell you what, they dropped a recent mugshot of Phil Spector. He looks he looks more natural for one thing. But remember when he's on trial and he had that huge like afro wig or that curly hair wig that he was wearing because the guy's like 80 or something? And then they had him a recent mugshot and he's got gray hair and, you know. That's what's so funny is like if you go to jail but you've been one of these guys that gets busted for tax fraud, or I think his thing was murder, but you know, if you're like a white collar criminal, so you've been like dyeing your hair, looking all sharp, and then you go to prison, they show them they're all gray haired, disheveled, and they got, because they ain't buying Just for Men from the commissary anymore.
Okay. I'm just very over this whole conversation, so.
You are?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, come on.
It's fine.
I'm going to do another half hour on it, Bill. You gotta
Let's do it. Let's do
saddle
3
up,
more
pal.
segments.
Oh, come on.
Make this into the next Everybody
Loves
Mayor
Mayor.
episode.
Well, can we
Everybody
play?
loves wit.
Can we play Whitney Houston on the way back?
No, every time I come back from break now is going to be Motorhead, Judas Priest, or Soundgarden.
That's all right. I'll mute it.
And then people are going to go, oh, yeah, gee, now I get it. Thank you, Johnny B.
Why don't you do a mashup?
Now I understand why Whitney Houston is in and they're not.
Do a
Yeah, I
mashup
get it.
of Whitney Houston and all the people who didn't get in.
By the
Whitney
way-
Houston, Iron Maiden.
From now on, Poundcake, I'm only taking calls from Johnny A's. Okay, no more B's. Thank you.
Johnny Black. No more Johnny Black. You're discriminating.
No, I'm not, why go with a B when you got an A?
Gotcha.
Alan, to be fair, drug-addled and drowning in a tub is pretty rock and roll.
That's what I was saying.
That's what Bill said.
That's what I said from the moment she was nominated.
And if they said that for induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because she was a crack addict who died in a bathtub, Whitney Houston, I would go, I am not arguing with you one iota. I cannot argue with that. You are right. That did happen. You are right.
100%.
100%. Alan, I think that guy just made me racist. Listen. Spoiler alert, I don't think that guy made you racist.
If that's all it took to bring it out.
Might have been a pre-existing condition. Yeah. Alan, I don't agree with you on much, but jalapeno cheddar Cheetos are life.
I'm gonna raid that snack vending
is that
machine
still a
today.
thing? Oh, are you going to go?
I brought in healthy food and I'm not eating 1 ounce of it. I
Why?
don't care because I don't feel like it.
Oh, come on.
No.
If you applied that logic to your sobriety, you'd still be in trouble.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's, well...
Can I eat Cheez-Its
Let
or
her get
have
some
a shot?
food.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never eaten
right.
so
Go
many
eat some junk
Cheez-Its
food
I
and
woke
cheer
up
up.
on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's never happened, not one time.
You don't eat Cheez-Its the way I eat
I
Cheez-Its.
just got a whole big box just with me, and I'm naked on a toilet. Like, I did it again.
Using Twinkies as pillows.
One of those
Never
giant
happened.
cartons of goldfish.
Yeah.
The big square boxes.
Use it as a pillow when you're done
Oh
with
my
it.
gosh. I'm going to get a Rice Krispie treat. I'm going to get some Cheez-Its, probably some barbecue chips.
That does sound good.
I just want some snacks, man.
Yeah.
I was in my house today so aggravated. I had a nice healthy breakfast, packed a nice healthy lunch, but I'm looking in my cabinets and I'm like, I don't buy junk food because I will eat it if I
Yeah.
keep it in my house. So I'm just annoyed looking at Wheat Thins. Like, I want to eat that.
I understand. That's where you get on like day 10 of the whole 30.
Yeah.
You go, if I have to eat any more goddamn broccoli,
I'm out of. I don't want grapes.
Do you have the dreams when you're doing Whole 30 about
Of a diet.
breaking your diet?
Dude, I had a drunk dream the other night.
Really?
Where I've had these before where I was like wasted in the dream, but I went from like wasted and then I woke up the next day and my family was having like an intervention for me. And they were like, you got drunk again last night. And I was like, oh no, I broke my sobriety. I've also had that with Oreos while on a strict diet.
I broke my Oreo sobriety.
Yeah.
I was so hungry during my whole 30 that I woke up in the middle of the night. I had an empty bowl. I thought there was Chipotle in it because I put my Chipotle in another bowl. I broke the fork because I bit it so hard in my sleep. It was a plastic fork, but like I was like, and I was like, what? This is some hard rice. I was like, it's the fork.
You were like
They
sleeping?
claimed
Wow,
that-
you were sleep eating.
And
Like he was on
sleep eating's
Ambien.
so hard.
I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh. Like instead of breakfast, I'll just get a little bite real quick. Like I don't know why my conscious mind said, yes, it's perfectly normal to eat Chipotle at 6:30 in the morning. Take a bite right now. And
That you left out all night.
Right. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was like, why would Chipotle be in that bowl? But it was stupid oatmeal or whatever it was. And yeah, screwed myself over.
Okay. Listen. I've got this week's I Heard deal for you. There's a spot out in Avon Lake called Ibiza. It's real good, Mediterranean restaurant, and you can get $50 for only $25 if you go to WMMS.com. Use the keyword deals. I will get you that $50 on the way back here. 351